Now, reason for a difference in living and the income distribution within and between the countries. We have 2 to 3 different reasons to to make a differentiate between the income distribution within and between the countries. The number one is productivity of industries. If you have a more productivity and people are buying more, that's mean they are more or they have a very good living standard. Okay. Then major industries. What makes countries like Qatar and Norway achieve some of the world highest per capita income is that their income come mostly from petroleum. Getting? Industry that are scarce and are highly demanded internationally. They have a huge kind of a product which has a high demand on international level. Okay, so they have their good living standard because of their main product. Then population lower per capita income and put pressure on the scarce resources. Ability to ability of the citizens to pay tax. If people can pay more taxes, living standard of the people will be high. If people don't pay good taxes, like in Pakistan, they don't have a good ability to pay, or they don't have a very good living standard. That could be another reason. Provision of health and education facilities. Variety of goods and services produced. Like if you compare UK with Pakistan, you will find best product quality either in Pakistan or either in UK. Of course, in UK. Okay. Then war, crime, and the natural disaster. Again, that could be the reason of the different income levels between or within the countries. 5.2 is poverty. The topic is poverty. If you remember, we already have a discussion in the sociology that what do you mean by absolute poverty and or relative poverty. Absolute poverty is something that you are unable to fulfill your basic needs. Relative poverty, when you compare yourself with the other man who is more richer than you. Okay, like for example, other than basic need, if you are going to compare yourself with the other person, that will be relative poverty. For example, if a person who is living in a 5 canal bungalow, okay, he has a Mercedes, and you have, let's say, 4 and 5 canal home, okay, and you have, for example, you just have a Corolla, and you are making a comparison of yourself and between that person, you will find that you are relatively poor. So this becomes relatively poverty. So what are the causes of the poverty? Unemployment, low education levels, the size of the family. If you have a larger family and you have a one person who is earning money, it would be a huge burden on him, on his shoulder. And what ultimately this family will face the poverty. Then the age, if you are in the age of, let's say, 60 to 65, okay, and you are unable to fulfill the needs of your family, and you unfortunately you don't have other person who can take your place, who can replace you within the family. So what do you have to do? The age will be another factor of the causes of the poverty. Then the poor government support. Of course, as you were talking, in Pakistan, they are just giving 2500 to the family who are unemployed, who cannot fulfill their basic need, and nobody is there who can tell the government that 2500 is not enough to complete the basic need in Pakistan. Then the poor health. The health conditions could be another reason of the poverty. Now, how you can alleviate the poverty? The things you discussed in the previous slides. How you can alleviate the poverty? Reduce unemployment, impose more taxes, welfare services, just go and support the older people or the people who are unemployed, minimum wage legislation, at least decide the level of the income or the wage that any person can afford their basic need. Quality of education, inward investment that creates more opportunities of the employment, overseas aid could be the another reason to alleviate the poverty.